welcome to Arthritis Answers. I'm Kendall Horvatich, the Development Coordinator for the Arthritis Foundation. Before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners and the Wofford Theater. Today, since this is our first episode, we're going to talk about arthritis in general and the Arthritis Foundation and what we do here in Indiana. My first guest is Jenny Conder, Area Vice President for the Arthritis Foundation Heartland Region. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Kendall.
Why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about the Arthritis Foundation?
The Arthritis Foundation is the champion of yes. We lead the fight for the arthritis community, and we exist to conquer the disease. For nearly 7 decades, we have sought to advance science, to help people access optimal care, share must-have tools and information, and create a community of caring individuals, families, and teams.
And what are some common things you hear from people with arthritis?
Some of the things that we hear are, it robs me of my choices, it hurts, and arthritis is a thief. But this is not our fate, nor is it the individual's. We have to fight back and find ways to say yes, conquering arthritis for good.
So what does the Arthritis Foundation do to break down barriers?
The Arthritis Foundation focuses on breaking down barriers to care and advancing scientific discoveries. We also connect people with arthritis tools, resources, and a wider community of support. At the turn of the century, after years of research supported by the Arthritis Foundation, we were instrumental in the discovery and distribution of groundbreaking drugs that effectively treat painful joint inflammation in children. It was also a life-saving drug, a form of arthritis that affects the heart. This is just one of many examples of how we have changed the lives of many over the course of time. The impact is clear. By leading the way on many fronts, the Arthritis Foundation fights the good fight against this disease. Our goal is to improve the quality of life and help people say yes to things that are important to them. We are making a difference for 1 in 5 Americans who have arthritis. That's more than 50 million people nationwide, including 300,000 children and their families. We are helping to save millions of dollars in healthcare costs every year. If that's all we did in the past 10 years, it would be an amazing story, but it's not. The Arthritis Foundation has been a real catalyst in the change in people's lives. We have been successful in developing online tools for people who have arthritis to track their symptoms and medications. We've identified cortisone as an effective treatment option. We've hosted over 1,000 attendees to our JA conference, in fact, the most recent, the 30th anniversary, and we've helped to design new prosthetics that are more effective and longer lasting.
So what are the results of the Foundation's work over the last 60 plus years?
The impact of the Foundation's work is resounding. People can now move more freely, they don't feel so alone anymore, and they know we are helping to look out for them.
What is the future direction of the Arthritis Foundation?
We've come a long way, but there's so much more work to do, and we can't do it alone. We need you. We need you to participate by registering and raising funds through our annual Walk to Cure Arthritis, Jingle Bell Run, to advocate, to sign up and be a voice and lend your support to people who have arthritis, to volunteer at your closest office or for an event, and to donate, because we are committed to dedicating 75 cents of every dollar to arthritis research and intervention. We meet the strict qualifications for the Better Business Bureau as well as the National Health Council. But ultimately, we depend on you to conquer arthritis and related diseases. Arthritis is far-reaching and affects everyone. It is expensive and it threatens quality of life. Arthritis is a thief, and it steals everyday joys and long-term dreams. It isolates and ostracizes, it is painful, and it induces a spirit of no. We know it doesn't have to be this way. The Arthritis Foundation and all of our champions, people like you, are in a unique place of authority and action. Our purpose is to fight for everyday victories and to find a cure. Together, we come a long way. Today and going forward, let's accomplish even more. Let's be the champion of yes together.
So, do you have some local success stories or champions of yes that you can think of off the top of your head?
We do. We have several individuals that we work with as volunteers and as advocates, one of which that comes to mind is Arthritis Foundation advocate Joy Ross. Joy is blind because of her arthritis. She has 2 daughters who also battle the disease. Despite all of her obstacles, Joy has become an outspoken advocate for research as well as treatments and making sure they are more accessible and available. As Joy puts it, we all have our disabilities, even if they are not obvious. It's what we do with them that counts.
So, we've got a few minutes in this segment, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the types of arthritis? There's over 100 types, is that correct?
There are over 100 different types of arthritis that fall under the foundation umbrella. Those include gout, lupus, osteoporosis, and fibromyalgia.
Well, I think a lot of people don't know that all of those fall under that.
They don't. It's amazing what types of diseases actually fall under that umbrella and are considered related diseases.
What are some of the signs and symptoms of arthritis? And how do you tell the difference between maybe osteoarthritis and RA?
Well, that is a very interesting question. And quite honestly, between the 2 diseases, osteoarthritis is a disease that's associated with cartilage deterioration. It causes pain, stiffness, loss of range of motion. It's a chronic disease, which means it lasts potentially over a lifetime. And it typically begins about age 40 and develops over the course of time. Rheumatoid arthritis, on the other hand, is considered an autoimmune disease. It's something foreign in the body that triggers that immune response, and as a result, that immune response manifests itself in the joint. RA usually affects several joints, and it affects the joints bilaterally. Some of the common symptoms are red, swollen joints, warm to the touch. The individual may feel very fatigued and flu-like. It usually affects those in the young to middle adult years, and it primarily will affect women more so than men.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break and hear a few words from our sponsors.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters, with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want, with a big theater experience.
Welcome back to Arthritis Answers. I'm Kendall Horvatich, Development Coordinator for the Arthritis Foundation. I'm here with Jenny Conder, Area Vice President for the Arthritis Foundation, and we're going to talk a little bit more about arthritis.
So just to give a little bit more of a definition of what arthritis is, it is considered simply inflammation of the joints. It is, again, a very chronic condition, and it can last over a lifetime. Unfortunately, there aren't many specific causes that we are aware of. Again, there's over 100 different types of arthritis. But what we do know is that as of now, there is no cure.
So,
when it comes to the most common forms of arthritis, the top three are osteoarthritis, which affects 27 million adults nationwide, rheumatoid arthritis, which affects approximately 1.5 million adults nationwide, and then there's juvenile arthritis, which affects approximately 300,000 children nationwide.
So what are some common misconceptions about arthritis? I know a lot of people think it's something just my grandma gets, but that's not true.
Absolutely. Touching again on juvenile arthritis is actually one of the most common childhood diseases, affecting more children than cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy combined. Despite this, children don't always get the access to the care that they need, which can result in some costly delays in diagnosis and treatment. Many people are shocked to know that there are fewer than 250 board-certified practicing pediatric rheumatologists in the United States. Currently, there are 11 states in the U.S. without a pediatric rheumatologist, and there are 7 states with just one. And of those practicing rheumatologists, oftentimes you see them practicing in clusters in and around large cities. So for someone who lives in a rural community or in a community where there are no pediatric rheumatologists, there is a lot of travel associated with treatment and care. The disease is both financially and emotionally devastating. In Indiana, we consider ourselves lucky because we have approximately 5 pediatric rheumatologists that treat over 6,400 children in our state alone.
So what are some ways people can manage their pain or
They can do several different things. The most important thing, as far as we're concerned, is just to stay active. In fact, the foundation considers movement to be the best activity. Physical activity keeps your joints strong, keeps them flexible, it maintains your body weight, and just enhances your overall health. Maintaining a body weight, speaking of which, is very important because what people sometimes don't think about is just even a little bit of extra weight on our joints can have a huge impact on just making them have to work more to carry that extra weight. So a lot of times if someone is a little bit overweight, they may be carrying some extra pressure in their hips, their knees, and their ankles, their lower back. And oftentimes that is associated with their arthritis. Some of the other options include medications. There's a variety of over-the-counter medications like Advil. There's also prescription medications. Those with arthritis also seek what we consider to be alternative therapies, for example, massage or chiropractic care. They may even see a physical therapist. Worst case scenario, and of course last resort, people who have arthritis may end up with a joint replacement, just depending on how severe the disease has progressed.
What should you do if you think you have arthritis?
If you have arthritis, we strongly encourage you to speak to your physician. If you've had pain stereotypically for 2 weeks consistently, then it's important to have that conversation. Perhaps either you or have them refer you to a rheumatologist, which is a specialist in the disease, and start discussing whether or not you have arthritis. If that is the case, receive that diagnosis and form your treatment plan to prevent disease progression.
There's been a lot of changed in the last 60 years with the research the Arthritis Foundation has done. Can you tell us a little bit about what the difference is maybe between kids who had arthritis or people who had arthritis 20 years ago and what the difference is today?
The difference is amazing. Many, many years ago, the treatment for arthritis in children or even as adults was take aspirin, lots of it, and don't move. And oftentimes it was a disease that you would see. You would see the effects on the joints, in their mobility, in their overall demeanor. But we've come so far in the past 7 decades where arthritis is a disease that one doesn't really see in an individual if you look at them. So many different treatment options, medications. We know so much more about how to manage the disease that, especially the children that we work with, have so many more opportunities and have been able to manage the disease and as a result live a healthy, happy, normal life. They are active because that is important. And locally we have worked over the past, in my 10 years with the foundation, worked with several children who have just flourished, who are athletes, whether it's tennis or gymnastics or in football, volleyball, cheerleading. Some of the things that years ago we would never even think to see our kids doing. And it's just been amazing to see the progression over time.
Do you want to tell maybe a success story of someone you know locally who might inspire someone that I have arthritis and it's not the end of the world, I can do something about it?
Absolutely. We work with, again, many volunteers, but one in particular sticks out, and her name is Anne. And Anne used to be a competitive speed skater. She loved to rollerblade. She was very, very physically active. And then all of a sudden, the disease took over, as she would say. And she had a hard time climbing stairs. She had a hard time getting in and out of bed. And it was a very devastating scenario for her because she really didn't know what was going on. And to go from being so very, very active to having a hard time moving, you can only imagine what the impact was. So working with her physician and getting in to see a rheumatologist, and after getting that diagnosis, they were able to create a treatment plan that was individualized for her. And it's wonderful to say that she is back to being that vibrant, active person that she is. She's a huge advocate for our foundation. She's been our honoree for some of our events in the past. She serves as a chair for our Walk to Cure Arthritis. And what's most outstanding about her is that what's really helped her transverse this disease was that she was able to get involved with the Tai Chi for Arthritis program. And that program not only helped her physically, but spiritually and mentally, which there are many components and facets to this disease. And not only was she able to benefit from participating in the Tai Chi for Arthritis program, she eventually became an instructor and now teaches classes throughout the city. And she just lends her inspiration to others and is a true example of someone who did not allow this disease to take over their life. In fact, she will say she has arthritis, but arthritis does not have her.
She's a true inspiration.
She really is.
We're going to take another break.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event, or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Welcome back to Arthritis Answers. I'm Kendall Horvatich with the Arthritis Foundation Heartland Region. And with me now is Casey Stein, one of the special events directors for the Arthritis Foundation Heartland Region. Welcome, Casey.
Well, thank you.
Casey, why don't you talk a little bit about the local initiatives for the Arthritis Foundation and what the Arthritis Foundation is doing to help people with arthritis?
Absolutely. So as Ginny just touched on a little bit in the previous segment, nationally our organization has distinguished 4 pillars that we work towards as a foundation, and those pillars are help and support, community and communication, advocacy and access, and of course scientific discovery. So we are doing our part here in the Indiana office to make sure that we provide programs and services to support those 4 pillars. For example, scientific discovery, which is an important one. Our goal in the foundation is to better understand what causes arthritis, what affects it, and most importantly, what we can do to cure arthritis. In the past, we have supported fellowships here locally. We have provided money for rheumatologists, pediatric rheumatologists at Riley Hospital to study the disease. But currently, we've invested close to $500 million in the discovery for a cure for arthritis. Most recently, they have created biologic drugs which have really helped rheumatologists and people with rheumatoid arthritis, better control the disease as well as other types of arthritis. So scientific discovery is definitely a major thing here at the local office. Another area is advocacy and access. And we are fighting both at the state level and at the federal level to make people who have arthritis lives a lot easier. We do that. The staff works with over 70,000 volunteers to advocate for better care, better access to care, to eliminate things like specialty tiering, and work to monitor both private and government care plans.
Because the drugs can be pretty expensive.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the newest drugs, because they are so new, can be really hard to afford for a lot of people. Like Jenny said, they're all over the country in rural areas. Drugs can be up to $2,000 just one dose. And so we work with insurance companies and with the government to make those more affordable. Another area is community and communication. That's one of my favorites because that puts a focus on connecting people with arthritis with other people with arthritis to create that network and that support system. We help and kind of guide that by providing support groups. Like Jenny mentioned, we have specialty exercise programs like Tai Chi for arthritis or yoga with arthritis. We also host fundraising events where they can come together and really empower one another to take control of their disease and to fundraise and feel like they're fighting back. And I think that's really exciting for them. Also just to meet other people with arthritis and kind of talk through their aches and pains together. And then the last pillar that I mentioned is help and support. And we pride ourselves on being the #1 resource for information on arthritis. Less than a week ago, we launched our new website, which is really cool because as you click virtually, the program will change to cater towards your interest and your needs. I've never talked to one person, I've never heard the same story twice, I guess, with arthritis. With over 100 different types, you're going to hear 100 different stories. So as you click, you can learn about how to best manage your pain for your lifestyle. So we're really involved here locally, I would say.
Awesome. That's also my favorite. I love when I can see 2 kids meeting each other and finally feel like they're not alone.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what are some of the local fundraising events here in Indianapolis?
So we have 3 major events here in the Indiana area. To kick off Arthritis Month this May, we have our Walk to Cure Arthritis on May 16th, less than 2 weeks away, a week and a half away. It's over on the IUPUI campus. I highly recommend that you register now. Registration is free. It's a great community for people with arthritis. So if you yourself have arthritis or you have family members with arthritis, there are a lot of resources and activities there for people with arthritis. There is a 1 mile walk and a 3 mile walk, or if you don't feel comfortable walking a mile, we have a lot of other mini movements, we call them. So introductions to our Tai Chi for arthritis or yoga or reflexology, I apologize. We also have like a kids area with crafts and a senior area with senior activities. It's a really fun afternoon. Our next event in the year is our Bone Bash Gala, a totally different event, very similar to a black tie gala, except it is Halloween themed. So in addition to your live music and 3-course meal and silent and live auctions, we also have costume contests and palm readers and other fun Halloween themed activities. That event is on October 24th. It's a Saturday. And we actually are going to start our ticket sales on May 28th at our kickoff event. That event is called Brews and Bones. It's at Two Deep Brewery downtown. So come, it's a relaxed event, local beer, local barbecue, and a local jazz band. So it should be a lot of fun, and you can learn more about the event. And then our last event, and it's also our biggest event, is our Jingle Bell Run. It has everything for walkers and runners alike. That event is on Saturday, December 12th at Bankers Life. It is a 5K, a 10K, and a fun run for kids. A lot of people come dressed up in their holiday gear. It's a good time. You'll hear the runners coming before you see them. Everyone ties jingle bells to their shoes. And I think my favorite part about the event is that it does start and end inside. So unlike the other holiday-themed fun runs in December, you don't have to worry about freezing before the run even starts.
Yes, sometimes it can be cold.
Oh, absolutely.
So if someone wants to get a hold of the Arthritis Foundation, how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions for myself, Kendall, Jenny, or the rest of our staff members, definitely go to our website. That is www.arthritis.org. And I can spell that for you, www.arthritis.org. There you'll find the information I spoke about earlier, that website platform, as well as online tracking tools, nutrition and health tracking tools specifically for people with inflammatory or chronic pain diseases. And you'll also find our event information there, how to register, the dates again, because I know I said them pretty quick.
And you can also volunteer for these different events.
Oh, absolutely. We highly appreciate and rely on our volunteers. All of our events have volunteer committees, so if you're interested in serving on a committee or getting more involved with the foundation, definitely attend some of our events this year. It'll give you a good feel for what you like to do, and if you like the events, I'm sure you will. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, there's a lot of volunteer information on the website, especially for our Walk to Cure Arthritis. We're looking for volunteers right now. So if you'd like to jump right in, I highly recommend going online.
Well, I want to thank both of my guests, Jenny Condor and Casey Stein, for joining me. If you have a topic you want to see us cover on Arthritis Answers, you can email me at KHOR, V as in Victor, ATICH at arthritis.org. Or you can call us at 317-879-0321. On our next episode, I'm going to have Amber Wolf, our Agribility Coordinator, joining us, and she's going to talk about arthritis in agriculture and the different things you can do to modify to have a successful spring and summer garden. So thank you again to Logan Street Signs and Banners and the Wofford Theater for having us. We'll see you next time.